everyone, today we'll be cooking and we're going to be using a knife, so make sure you have an adult nearby. We're going to be using local produce bought from a farmer's market. I have spaghetti squash and some spinach here. We're going to start with cutting the spaghetti squash first, and it's very hard to cut, so be careful. Ask an adult for help if necessary. Take a knife and cut a thin line all around the squash. When that's done, we're going to grab a fork and poke the holes through all across the line. And then only after that we can cut the squash through, as the knife will go in easier. Now that it's open, we're going to take a spoon and scoop out the seeds out of it. So don't throw the seeds away, you can save them for later and either make a light snack out of it or plant them. Now we're going to grab some olive oil and drizzle both sides with it. We're going to sprinkle some salt and pepper and other spices. I'm using Italian herbs over here. I'm going to grab a pan and put parchment or foil on it, and then place our squashes face down and put it in the oven that was previously preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 to 45 minutes until it's tender. When that's done, we're going to carefully take out our squash out of the oven. Be careful as it's very hot, and we're going to set it aside to cool. Proceed to cook the spinach with squash until the spinach is wilted and squash is heated thoroughly. And we're going to wait 2 to 3 minutes until it becomes more pink on the bottom side, and once that's done, we're going to flip one by one, and we're going to wait another 3 minutes for it to cook thoroughly. Once our shrimp is cooked, we're going to set it aside. And now we're going to grab our cooled down squash and we're going to scrape the insides out with a fork into a bowl. Be careful so you don't poke any holes into the skin, as we will need it for later. Now we're going to go back and reuse our skillet over medium heat. We're going to place our squash into it and then add spinach. Be careful with the spinach, add it half at a time, as the volume in the beginning is very big, but as it cooks it wilts away and decreases in its volume. So I added half in the beginning and then waited for it to wilt and then added the rest. Proceed to cook the spinach with squash until the spinach is wilted and squash is heated thoroughly. Once it's fully cooked, turn off the stove and grab your spinach with squash as well as your shrimp, and let's go back to the table. We're going to reuse our spaghetti squash skins as a bowl, and we're going to place our shrimp and spinach mixture into each of them, and then we're going to top it off with shrimp and use the sauce from it as well, and then we're going to sprinkle some parmesan on top of it. Now that our food is all ready, we can play around with it on the table, find the best position, best lighting, take some pictures that we can use in our cookbook. Now moving to the computer, we're going to open up our favorite internet browser and type in Google Slides. Next, click on the second link and then go over to Google Slides. You'll be presented with some templates and an option to start a blank presentation, and that's what we're going to pick today. In the top left corner, name your presentation, and we already have one slide created for us, and we're going to change the title to what we want. My cookbook, my recipe book, pick what sounds best for you, and in the subtitle section, we're going to put our name so everyone knows whose cookbook this is. We can play around with our font sizes, style, and color, and now we're going to change our background, and I'm going to show you a few different options to do so. For the first one, we're going to click background button over here, and the window pops up and offers us to pick a color, image, or reset to theme. We're going to choose an image, and I'm going to pull an image from the web. I'm opening up Unsplash and searching up what I want my background to be. You can set the search option to landscape so it's easier to find a picture that will fit the background. Once we have our picture, click download and make sure you remember where it downloaded to. Go back to your presentation, click choose image, and then locate and pick the image you just downloaded. Then hit done, and here you go, you have a beautiful new background. You can play around with font and its highlight if the letters are not clearly visible due to the background, as in my case. You can also choose to move the text around the slide until you like its new location. Now see a window here on the right? We're going to pick one of the themes that Google is suggesting to us. Scroll down and find a theme that you like most and will get applied to the slide and all the next one you create. Now we're going to right click on our slide and choose new slide option, and we have a brand new slide. If we go under slide tab on the top here, we can change the layout of the slide, and you can see many options that can help you make your project look better. We're going to create a few categories for our cookbook first. I'm going to name this one salads, and I want to include an image. If we go to Insert tab, we can choose to search for an image through the web and type out what we're looking for. Once you find the image you like, simply click on it and then insert it. Now it's on your slide, and you can resize it and move it around until you like its position. To create next category, we're going to click on the slide we have and choose an option to duplicate the slide. This gives us an opportunity to reuse the format of the slide we have just created. I'm going to rename my category on this slide to main dishes, change the image, and then switch text and image places. I'm going to duplicate my slide again and create my final category. You can create as many or as few categories as you like. Now I'm going to add the recipe I prepared today to my cookbook. My dish falls into category of main dishes, so I'm going to right click on that slide and choose to add new slide. I'll change the layout, title, and 2 columns so I can display the name of the dish, ingredients required to make it, and a picture of what it looks like all in one place. Now we can start filling out our title. We're going to insert an image of the dish that we took and then write out all the ingredients necessary to make it. To make your text fit better, use bullet points, resize your font if needed, or include abbreviations like I use for things like teaspoon, tablespoon, and pound. Another useful feature that Cool Slides has is that if you misspell a word, it will underline it with red, so you can right click on it and it will suggest your proper spelling of the word. You can also change the design of your bullet points by selecting all text and then go into the 3 dots over here, second option from the left, and you can see all different varieties of bullet points you can use. Now, when it comes to directions for a recipe, you can either include it in the notes section down here, so they're not visible in presentation for anyone else but you, and that way you only use one slide per recipe. Or you can create a new slide following this one and change the layout, title, and body. Now copy the name of the dish and the title so 2 slides have identical titles and start typing out your directions in the body section. You can write them as paragraphs, bullet points, or numbered lists. To start a numbered list, simply type number 1, hit period, and then space. Now Google automatically recognizes this as a numbered list, and all you have to do now is type your directions, and when you're ready to move to the next one, hit enter and you'll move to the next number. Once you have all your directions typed out, make sure it fits the slide. If not, you can change the font size or create a new slide and continue with them on the next page. And that's it! Now we have added our first recipe to our cookbook, and as you continue to add recipes to it, don't forget to play around with colors, layout, fonts, backgrounds, and themes. We really hope to see your cookbook soon.